Welcome to our 2022 Avenger 16 RD. We're going to start right in the back bumper here. You just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Just take note of those two ears and the adapter here. That's all be hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. We're just keeping it stored in the bumper back here just to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that little bit cleaner for you. And then the one step forward, you're going to find your stabilizer jack here. So what you're going to do with those guys is they're just going to run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so, just firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Straight up from there, you're going to find a cable and satellite inlet. It's just a coax cable, plug into there, fire up at your TV location. A couple of steps forward, and we got the exhaust for your furnace. So if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Ahead from there, you got your power port. So as you open that up, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom corner here. It's going to line up with this notch there. You're going to line those up, press it in, give it a little 8th turn, that'll lock it into place. And then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it down. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. So most campsites are going to have that. You'll be able to plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter. So if you're looking to plug into a standard household outlet, you've got the power to do so. Couple of steps forward, you find your exterior shower here. So you got a key just like this guy there. You can stick it on into there and open it up. You get the standard 3-foot the standard 3-foot hose with the standard head, hot and cold water, so if the dog's out getting muddy, you can spray him off before he gets inside. That hose will just wrap around the handles there. You can just tuck that hose back in there, lock her back down. To the left of that, we got your city water connection, so you just pop that cap out of there, take your water hose and plug it in. Turn on the water and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Down from there, we got your sewer system, so that cap there, you're just going to kind of press it in, give it a turn, you can pop it off. You can see it's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had, so that'll attach the same way. Press it in, give it a turn, locks in, and there you have it. On the left, you get a black valve here, so that black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilets. That's, of course, going to be our dirtiest water, so we'll be dumping that first. Once that's done, we'll then come to the gray. Gray is filled from your sinks as well as your shower, so typically cleaner water. We'll dump that last to help keep that hose as clean as possible. And then also right behind there, you got low point drains here, so in the front there, that's your hot water. In the back is going to be your cold water. Basically, just unscrewing those caps allows the water system to drain itself out. Purpose of that would be if you're leaving the unit for a while and you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can just drain it all out. Or before winterizing, you just get all that water out before pumping lines freeze through. Storage compartment here, so as you open that up, you get the little finger on the side there, holds it open. And then inside of this compartment, you're going to find your water hose as well as that park adapter I was telling you about. So your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Inside of here, you also get this manual jack, so that just fits onto all your stabilizers so you can run them up and down. And then the storage compartment does see straight through to the other side and is also accessible from inside underneath your bed. So just close that back down and around to the front of the unit. Inside of this box here is your battery, so as long as you're plugged in through that short cord in the back or your 7-pin into your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. Your propane tank is just underneath this cover here, so if you just kind of reach in this opening, you can feel the valve up top there. You're just going to turn that to open it up. And then if you were looking to remove the cover completely, you just get these 4 snaps in the back there. You just undo all those and you can slide this cover off, and there you go. Standard tongue jack in the front, so one way's up, the other way's down. The side of the unit here, we got your solar panel plug-in. So basically your Furion solar panel plug into there, charges your batteries. Other end of your storage compartment down here. Couple of steps back by the entry door, you got a bottle opener here, 2 exterior speakers there with it. Up above that, you're going to find your stove vent. So of course, propane stove is putting off fumes whenever you're using it, so you just want to make sure this flap out here is opened up and your fan inside turned on so that we're evacuating those fumes. Then we got your hot water tank down here, so that keyway, you're just going to line it up and you can pop it on open. So all of your controls for turning it on are just inside of the unit. Before we ever turn it on though, we just want to hit this relief valve right there, make sure that shot of water comes out. A little bit of water coming out so that you know this tank is full, you're safe to fire it up and you're not going to burn anything out by doing so. And so once we do get inside and fire it up on propane, I will go over a reset procedure, and the button that I'll refer to is right here. Once you're done, you're just closing it back up, lining up that keyway, and lock it back down. See if I protected outlet out here, so reset's just inside of the unit. You do have power outside, and then behind that is your fresh water connection, so just pop that cap out of there, take your water hose and stick it into there, turn on the water, and that fills up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent right there. Lock her back down to close it. And then as marked by this sticker here, you'll find that the drain point for that freshwater tank. So you just got that white cap there, you'll unthread that, screws off, and just allows the water tank to drain itself out. Then a little leash latch in the back here, so if you got the dog with you, you can tie him down. And then in the back, you just get your spare tire, and straight up from there, you're gonna find a pre-wired mount for your observation camera. So now we'll just make our way inside the unit. So your assist handle here just up 90 degrees, falls into place, then we can open up our door. The door is just on a friction hinge, it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. Then you're going to grab your steps straight out, flip this slap step over, and we can step on inside. So first things first, once you get in here, is we got your fire extinguisher there, so that's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Right beside it, you're going to find your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, it'll sit on the floor. This guy will detect it and start going off just like a smoke detector would. Straight up from there, we've got this monitor panel here, so in the center rows of switches here, this one on the right does your one interior light. The rest of the interior lights are just on their own center push buttons, so we'll show you those as we go. The switch to the left of that is going to be your awning light outside, so that does that strip light out there. The awning itself is on this switch here, so we'll press and hold the bottom of that, and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down, and then we'll see the black of the metal tube. Once we see that, we're going to want to stop. If you're to continue extending, it could actually wind itself up backwards, in which case our fabric will then be underneath our tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's our flap right there. It's just a little sticky or wet today, I guess. It's not quite coming down. It should here now. There we go. And you see your black tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to be holding some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, and just pull down on them. Then you see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before we bring it back in though, we just want to make sure these guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so that we're not running the risk of bending our arms. Also, while we're out here, I'll just point out that you do get the little blue lights inside of your speakers whenever you've got that awning light turned on. And then to bring that awning back in, you're going to press and hold the top of that switch, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, we're just watching to make sure that our fabric is over top of the tube. And one more thing to keep in mind with your awning is once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour of wind, it is catching all that wind, so you do just want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. So once that closes all the way, it's just got the electric motors will lock up and hold it firm against the side of the trailer. It's simple as that. Up from that switch here, this red one on the right, we got your water heater, so that turns it on with propane. So we turn that switch on, you get that little red light up there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once the sequence is started, that light will go out. It'll try that 3 times. If after that third try it hasn't fired up, it's at that point that light will come on and it'll stay on, and then you'll be using that reset button that we'd shown you. So stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know that tank is good. To the left of that, we got your water pump switch. So as we turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. And then up top, we get your monitor system. So on the left there, we get batteries. So you can see we're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, you go to third, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. So like I was saying, all the lights throughout the unit, just on their own center push buttons. And then across the bed here, you do get your storage up top. Same thing on the other side there. For that emergency exit in the back, you're going to be pulling that red tab to get rid of the screen. Take that red handle there and unlatch it and throw it outside. Hop on out. And like I said outside, if you just kind of pick up your mattress here, that base does come up and you get access to that front storage compartment. And then up on the wall there, you get your USB outlet as well as a power outlet. Straight up from there, you're going to find a TV backer. That right there is just kind of an access to the electrical connections for your awning lights, so nothing really back there for you to worry about. Above that's your power outlet for your TV, and then your antenna outlet for your TV has the button right beside it. Turn that button on, just lets you know your antenna's turned on. That will also help clear up your stereo signal. Cable and satellite outlet in the back. Above our heads is our smoke detector. Here we go. And then into the bathroom here. So inside right on the left, or sorry, straight up is your light. Again, center push button. Your shower, standard head and hose, hot and cold water, of course. Above that, you get your roof vent, so you're just turning that knob to open it up. Press that button in the back, turns on the fan. And your toilets here. As that opens up, you just get your flusher on the right side there. A little bit of storage there, as well as kind of underneath here. Again, just be mindful of our drains and our water lines. GFI protected outlet here, so test on the left, reset in the center, so if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. And then hot and cold water at the sink, of course. And then just by the bathroom entrance, you've got your thermostat here, so this activates just your furnace. So that slider all the way over to the left, that's it turned off. All the way over to the right, it's going to be max heat. Anywhere in the middle is going to be your temp selection, and your readouts just in the bottom there. So your furnace itself is right down here. So one nice thing about it is once it fires up in the bottom left corner there, you'll be able to actually see that little flame get going. Once it does fire up at least, right? So there we go, you can just kind of see it there. Now the downside to this furnace is that it is just dumping all of its air right here, so if you're looking to move the air forward and back, you're going to want to get yourself a little fan or something just to help move that air around. So once we're done, we take that slider here all the way over to the left, you hear it click, and that's it turned off. In your kitchen here, so you get your storage across the top. In here, you're also going to find that little blue binder. So that binder has all of your keys in it, all of your manuals, anything like that for the unit, you'll find right in there. Below that is your sink, and you also get a little light up here again. Hot and cold water, of course. You do have the mobile head there as well. Down below that is some storage. So if you're looking to winterize your unit yourself once it comes time, if you pull that screw out right there, you get access to your hot water tank, so you can bypass the valves. Up from there, you got your stereo, so just press the power button there, turns it on. Pretty straightforward, excellent little stereo. You get your volume controls on the side there. Mode, and you can cycle through all your different inlets. Then on the side there, that's select, you get your settings. Then your seeks and your pause and play. Speaker zone 1 is the sound bar itself. Zone 2 is the outside set of speakers. And then the power button there, just turn it back off. Microwave up top here is pretty standard, just like home. Not much I'm going to teach you there. Below that is your stove vent. So here's where you're going to find your fan, as well as a light. Alright, so that's that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up. So for when we're running our stove. For the stove, you're going to grab a lighter, turn it over to light, hit it with a lighter. There you go. So I will just mention the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the unit for a while, it can take a minute just to fire everything up because it'll have to clear all the air of the propane lines. It's perfectly normal. Lights back here again, just center push buttons. Your air conditioner here as well. So you have 2 low fan settings. Alright, so the fan is just moving air, there's no cooling involved. After low fan, you get high fan. And then you get into low cool, so that's of course just the low fan with cooling. And then high cool is high fan with cooling. You'll see this temp control knob in the back here. It does have the option for heat. That would be if the unit had a heat pump installed. We do not have a heat and pump installed. We have a dedicated furnace, so you're typically just going to be leaving that in max cool. Little louvers here on the end so you can close or open them up, just choosing where you're shooting your air. Alright, so beside your furnace outlet is your converter. So you press it top and center, she pops on open. You get all of your breakers on the left side here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. And then on the right side, you get all of your fuses. Above that, we got your 12-volt fridge. So as long as your battery's charged and you're charging, this fridge is going for you. Temp control's right across the top there. Freezer up top. Again, temp control right in the back. Then just your travel latch here. In the back of the unit, pretty well just your dinette here. Get all of your blinds, they're just on the tension system. That window right there is signified by the red handle as an emergency exit, so you'd just be pulling that handle towards you, sliding that wide open and hopping on out. For the table here, if you just kind of wiggle it up, you can get it out of the legs, and then the legs do the same thing. You can wiggle them out of the base. You'd then take the table, sit it down on kind of all your ledges that you got going throughout there. Take your 2 back cushions to fill in the middle, and then you can create kind of a bed back here. And really, lastly is going to be the 2 outlets on either end of the unit here. Again, if you're looking to winterize the unit yourself, the access to your water pump is right behind this panel here. Just the screw on either side, you can pull it out of the way. And then I believe the last thing we're looking for here is going to be your LP detector. So, that's right by the entrance. We might have done that already, actually. But anyways, propane's heavier than air, it'll sit on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector. And really, that's about it for this little guy. So if you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.